Hello and welcome to Library Connection today. My name is Mandy Cantrell. I'm Youth Services Director at the B.B. Comer Memorial Library. Before I get started, I want to thank TV47 and Robert especially for all they do to help us put the program on, to keep you up to date on things going on with the library, things that connect to the library, and things in our community. So thank you, TV47, a lot. Today joining me is Lieutenant Renae Cummings from the Sylacauga Police Department. Thank you for being here, Renae.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Great. I'll tell you, what sparked this program is the neighborhood where I live. We started a neighborhood watch program. And then not too long before that, we'd had some training at work at the library about how to keep our workplace safe, how to protect us, our patrons and things. And a lot of that carried over to the home and when I'm out and about. And then the neighborhood watch meeting was wonderful. Renae did that for us. And so I want to talk about that. But before I do that, tell us about yourself, Renae. I know you're from Sylacauga, are you?
Yes, ma'am. I graduated B.B. Comer in 1992.
Great.
And I started to work with the Sylacauga Police Department in 2001.
Okay.
And I've been with them ever since.
Oh, that's wonderful. You've worked your way up to lieutenant. Is
Yes,
that
ma'am.
correct? I told her, I said, I don't understand all rankings and things, but are you the first female lieutenant?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
That's something to be proud of. That's amazing.
It's very awesome.
That's
very
great.
awesome.
That's great. Well, you must do a wonderful job, I know. Our meeting was great. We met as a neighborhood. Renae led the meeting. I had always heard the term neighborhood watch and knew sort of what it was. Neighborhoods coming together to look out for crime and other activities in the neighborhood. Thought it was a great thing, but really knowing exactly all about it, I didn't, and you did a great job explaining that. So I'm going to ask you some of the same things you told us. Would you just tell our audience now,
Okay.
What is a neighborhood watch?
A neighborhood watch is a group of community members that join together to give a helping hand to neighbors and law enforcement in being an extra set of eyes for the fight against crime in their neighborhoods, and it also to keep a closeness within the neighborhood.
That's great. I know. I went on the Neighborhood Watch website, I believe, and read all neighborhood watches share one foundational idea that bringing community members together to reestablish control of their neighborhoods promotes an increased quality of life and reduces the crime rate in that area. Can you elaborate on some of that?
Yes, ma'am. In the past few years, communities have begun to fall apart.
Yes.
It's become a single home. They have no idea what's going on in their neighborhood, and most of it's due to people having to work or having to go to school. One of the advantages to the Neighborhood Watch is it creates a partnership between law enforcement and the neighbors by improving communication between the two. If the neighborhood does not know how to communicate to the police department, we have no idea what's going on in the neighborhood. By that, it helps to reduce crime in the Neighborhood Watch area. It also provides a more secure and better prepared hometown because you're working together as a community, because anything that you learn in the Neighborhood Watch program, you can pull over into Walmart parking lot.
Yes.
It also helps to unify the community. You're working for a common goal, and that's to have a safe homestead.
That's great, and that's perfect because nobody knows the neighborhood like the people who live there.
Correct.
We know if there's a strange car, which is not necessarily call the police, there's a strange car, but just to be aware of what's going on. We know the comings and goings of our neighbors, you know, whether they're working or whether there's an elderly person there, things like that. So that's a great way to do it. Who can form a neighborhood watch?
Anybody in the community can form a neighborhood watch. You don't have to have a degree or have some sort of connection with law enforcement. Just anyone can do that.
Okay. How do you do that?
There's 5 easy steps. I've got some notes here to make it a little bit easier for you.
Great.
The best way to start a neighborhood watch is if anybody wants to start it, go around, knock on the doors, find out who's interested in your neighborhood.
Right.
You don't want to draw out a large area. You want to make it smaller because if you overburden yourself with 3 or 4 blocks, it's hard to keep control of it.
Yes, sure.
So you'll recruit and organize your neighbors. You'll contact law enforcement, which would be me here in the city of Sylacauga. You'll schedule a meeting, and what will happen is I will go over the basic skills that you will need to be able to write down the information. What information does law enforcement need? The contact telephone numbers, things like that. And I'll also let them know what their crime statistics are. So that way for a future meeting, they will be able to see that their crime rates have dropped.
Oh, now that's important because if you form it, you want to know that you're doing some good, that you're doing, or maybe maybe crime is not improving, so what can we do to improve
Yes,
it?
and that's another one of
great.
them is discuss community concerns and develop an action plan. So if you know that there's something going on in a specific area, like if
Right.
you've got a neighbor that's got some family members that's coming in because of their bad health or things like that, you can work with that family member and give them support to where these family members that are coming in and taking advantage of them
Yes.
don't have to come in. They have help and support because
Oh,
some of
that's
the elderly
wonderful.
will not ask for help.
Right. Is there a cost for this?
No, there's no cost for it to start it up. But if you want signs or things like that, you can go to www.nnw.org, and they have all of the publications that you would need, all the signage that you would need. And as a group, you could come together and possibly have some dues,
Right, yes.
and then split the cost between each other, because you don't need that much.
Right. I know our neighborhood has talked, I don't know, somebody said maybe we could have a neighborhood yard sale, or just every family donate a very few dollars to have some signs
Yes.
put up. Do the signs really deter crime, do you think? Or
Yes, because they don't know who in the neighborhood's watching.
Oh, I never thought of it that way. That's true. That's true. Those are easy to purchase. I know we've talked about them, different sizes and things like that. Now, I tell you, we met that one time, and that was so informative. You were so good. Thank you for doing that. But just telling us what was involved, and people had a chance to share their concerns.
Yes.
And I know one thing that really stood out with me is somebody said, well, you know, if I call the police because I see a strange person in the neighborhood, or think they're doing something they're not supposed to be, you know, asking for money, or they're walking around behind somebody's house or everything, what do the police need to know?
The biggest thing that police need to know is a physical description.
Right.
So that way, if they've got on a red shirt and blue pants,
Right.
we're able to make contact with that person. We also need a direction of travel. Or if they're driving a vehicle, because in the meantime, if you're not watching that person and we come through the neighborhood and there's 3 or 4 people that you say, oh, there's a suspicious man in the neighborhood. Well, there's 4 men. We don't know which one was the suspicious person.
And you can't stop and ask everyone. You
No,
need
you
something
can't.
more to go on. And that's fairly simple. I might not have thought of that. I guess maybe, I don't know, I wouldn't have thought of that really, to make sure you get a description. Anything we can tell you about what's going on.
Right. The better description, the better.
Right, right. So if we see something suspicious, we call the police with this kind of information, as much information as we can. And direction of travel. I never thought about that. I need to tell you if they're walking in or out, instead of just, there's a strange man in my neighborhood. That could be anybody.
Right. We don't see what you see. We don't know what you know. Yes, we patrol the areas and things like that, but we don't know what's normal. So if you just say there's a suspicious man, we don't know which one's suspicious, because we don't know everyone in the neighborhood.
Right, that's true, that's true. One thing I like about our Neighborhood Watch program, we've met, we've used a little social media, we've used notes on front doors, door to door. It's developed more of a sense of community for us, I believe, to help people that are in need in our community. Maybe there was a death or something like that. But in fact, we said it's really sad it took something like that for us to get together as a neighborhood, and maybe one day we'll plan a cookout or something fun,
Right.
But you're right. I'm now getting back to what you said. The days are gone of neighbors getting together. Really, we don't do that. Now, when my children were little, they went house to house, and kids came to my house. But now that they're grown, I don't do that. So if I don't see you at work or church or something like that, I know who you are, but we don't get together that much. So.
And a lot of people are so busy with their own lives that it's hard for them to pay attention. But with the Neighborhood Watch, they're going to be self-conscious about paying attention to what's going on in their neighborhood.
That's true. That's true. I know at our meeting we talked about lighting.
Yes.
And you were telling us who to call for different things. If you have speeders in your neighborhood, lighting, other things like that. One thing I didn't know, I could complain about it, but what I really need to know is, who do I call? If my lights are out, do I call the police?
No, you call the utility board.
Yes, I mean, if someone is speeding, I know I'll probably call the police, but just knowing the information and knowing who to call. I know we talked about speed bumps. Well, we can say we think we need speed bumps, but then I've got to get some more information on that and find out if we really do want them. Maybe we don't want them. Just getting all the information instead of just saying, well, I wish we had better lights. I wish we had this. talk to the person who can help you.
Yes.
That was very helpful to me. Well, listen, we're going to pause for a commercial break, and we'll come back in just a few minutes.
Hot under the collar because your basement is full of water? Call a local company you can trust. Ox Foundation Solutions. We use the most advanced water management system to stop water from invading your basement for good. Things feeling a little uneven at home? Ox Foundation Solutions will fix your uneven concrete sidewalk, driveway, or basement in no time. Ox Foundation Solutions has the best plan to keep your home safe. If you are experiencing any issues with your sidewalks, basement, crawl space, or foundation, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
Coosa Valley Medical Center, one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama, is also Sylacauga's largest employer. Services from the emergency room to surgery to cancer treatment to post-stroke care. You won't believe what's right in your backyard. It's Coosa Valley Medical Center in Sylacauga. So, if you're sick in Alabama, choose one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama. That is Coosa Valley Medical Center.
Marble City Pharmacy in Sylacauga is your destination for the highest quality health care. Our knowledgeable pharmacists are always available for questions about your medications or advice on taking over-the-counter products and supplements. Our friendly staff can assist you in choosing from our full lines of compression hose and medical equipment. And don't forget our gift department. We have a great selection of unique gifts for every occasion. Stop by and see us today. Marble City Pharmacy, here for life.
Welcome back to Library Connection. I'm Mandy Cantrell from the B.B. Comer Memorial Library. I'm talking with Lieutenant Renae Cummings from the Sylacauga Police Department. We're talking about neighborhood watches, how to form them, why are they important. Before the commercial break, we were talking about who to call for lighting in the area. I know that is something we think about when you're wanting to be safe. So who do we contact for lighting?
If you're wanting lighting, if you're wanting extra security lighting, you contact the Sylacauga Utility Board.
Okay.
Their number's 256-249-0372.
Okay.
And just let them know that you would like to add some security lighting to your home. It's a minimum fee monthly that would be on your bill, but that would put the lighting there at your home.
Right, okay. And I know we talked a little bit about people in the neighborhood speeding. And we call, how do we take care of something like that? That's probably a fairly common thing.
If you've got a speeding issue, if you can document the times that this person's coming through, because 9 times out of 10, if you see the speeder, you've seen the vehicle, at least got a color of the car. Not everybody knows the make and model, but if you've got a color and a specific time that this car is coming through, because it may be somebody going to work on a regular basis.
Sure,
or maybe going to school. So give us that information, and you can call dispatch at 256-401-2442, and that will get an officer dispatched to your area, especially if you know the specific times. We can set up, we can even bring out the speed trailer, things like that.
Oh, okay, good. Now that's not 911 emergency, that's just calling the
That
dispatch.
is just the landline, yes.
Okay, great.
That's the non-emergency number.
Great. Well, talking about lighting and things like that, what about home security? There's so many things on the market now, I know, as far as home security goes.
Most of the home security systems now work off internet. They're internet based. So if you have internet at your home, the home security cameras are very inexpensive. I know that there's one option that's called Ring, which is actually on the doorbell, and it gives very good pictures of the person that comes up onto the front porch. But there's also cameras that can be placed in different places of the home that are set off by motion.
Okay.
And all these cameras are so inexpensive now, it doesn't cost much in order for you to do that. And with the internet connection, if it alerts you that someone's in your yard, you've got immediate information on your phone and you can see that person.
Wow.
You can actually call 911 from your phone, or they will dispatch out for you.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
Yes.
Technology has come that far. That's great. And that's good if you're expecting packages dropped off, or just if you've got someone at home alone, an elderly person, or not a small child, but a child old enough to be at home, but still you want to know. That's great. I know we've talked too about, can you put those together with your neighborhood, and so you can kind of get a camera view of almost your whole street, something like that?
You can. If you'll position your cameras to where they're all together and filling in the gaps. If everybody's got the same type of camera system, it works a lot easier. Right. But you can just incorporate with the other. And if you use social media, you'll be able to share that among each other. Like if there's a suspicious vehicle that's unknown to a lot of you in the neighborhood, but maybe somebody's having some work done inside the home and didn't know it, and they go, oh, I know who that is, and then it's
Yeah.
eased your mind.
Oh, that's true. That doesn't mean I can see what's going on at my neighbors. It just means I can video my part of the
Yes.
street, and
Yes.
then if we put that together, if something happens at this house, I can tell you if a car came by or if a person walked by. That is, I love that idea. I think that's great.
And if something does happen, then law enforcement can go to each one of the neighbors. As a neighborhood watch group, you would know that that incident occurred. And the investigators will have something to come back to, and then they can review everyone's cameras and get that footage.
Okay, great. So have y'all found that to be pretty effective?
Yes.
That's great.
Yes, very
That's great.
effective.
And those are available almost anywhere.
Anywhere
Online
you can,
or
online, Walmart, Home Depot, there's not many places you can't get them
Great.
from.
Are they hard to install? Do you
No, most of them, especially with internet, you place the camera where you want it, open up the app on your phone or on your computer, you can see what it's seeing, and then you can position it to where it needs to be.
Okay, that's great. I'm glad to know if the average person can do it. That's good.
Yes.
That's great. That is really good. I know I've seen on Facebook or other or social media, you know, hey, anybody know this? You know, this happened at night. This kid was ringing my doorbell. Somebody knocked down a street sign or things like that. So I'm good. And we just need to know to share that with you.
Yes.
I mean, we can't expect you to know unless we've told you.
And if the public doesn't report to us that a crime has occurred, you may not think it's a crime, or you may think it's just a nuisance and don't want to bother the police department. But it may have just been a doorbell ring at your home, but at the next home it was more than a doorbell ring. So always, before you post this stuff on social media, someone needs to call the police and notify us that this stuff is going on, and at least get it documented so we can have a trail of this is what's going on, this is what's going on in the neighborhood. Maybe we need to step up the patrol here, because we've got a population of 12,000 in the city of Sylacauga. There's 40 sworn officers at the police department, but only 5 work a shift at a time, and that's 12-hour shifts.
Right, goodness.
And when you've got the population in the Tri-County area coming in, you're looking at 40,000 people that travel Highway 280,
Oh, goodness, yes.
and you're talking 22,000 that travel Highway 21, and this is per day.
Oh my goodness, I had no idea.
Yes.
It's that much. Wow. It's a lot of traffic and a lot of people coming through town.
And if we don't know that these incidents are occurring, there's nothing we can do about it.
So no matter how small, we need to call and have
Right.
it reported
Right.
for a record. It might
Yes.
be, I like the way you said, they may have just knocked on your door and someone else's door, but the next time it might be more, and you
Right.
need a record.
And the next person may not have a camera, but you had a camera that, and they noticed the camera and moved to the next neighbor that doesn't have one. So this information we need to know.
Oh, okay. So no matter how small, we need
Right.
to call and report it.
Because
Great.
neighborhood watches are not vigilante groups.
Right.
They are actually, like I said before, our extra set of eyes that gives us the information we need to be able to do our jobs. Because without the community,
Right.
we're battling the wind, and that's very hard to do because we don't know this stuff is occurring, and most of the time we don't know it until it's too late. But if we can get ahead of it, maybe we can prevent it.
Oh, yes, yes. Well, we appreciate what you do for us,
you.
for as a city, for me personally, and for all of us. We do appreciate. I know you work long hours and all of
Yes.
that, but we do appreciate it. And when you came and met with us about the neighborhood watch, I was just real impressed with your knowledge and sharing it with us, and we got to know each other as
Yes.
a neighborhood. We introduced ourselves. Some people, you know, I knew, I've seen them, we're neighbors, we wave, but I like that. And when you know people, I guess you tend to want to look out for them a little bit more.
Yes, that gives you your common goal as a neighborhood. That brings you back together as a community, and that's something that has fell apart and fell to the wayside in the past few years. And neighborhood watches are our biggest resource that we could ever have. And we're so glad to see that more are trying to get involved and develop their own neighborhood watches.
Right. Well, great. Well, thank you. We're going to pause for another commercial break, and we'll be right back and talk some more with Renae.
Hot under the collar because your basement is full of water? Call a local company you can trust. Ox Foundation Solutions. We use the most advanced water management system to stop water from invading your basement for good. Things feeling a little uneven at home? Ox Foundation Solutions will fix your uneven concrete sidewalk, driveway, or basement in no time. Ox Foundation Solutions has the best plan to keep your home safe. If you are experiencing any issues with your sidewalks, basement, crawl space, or foundation, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
Coosa Valley Medical Center, one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama, is also Sylacauga's largest employer. Services from the emergency room to surgery, to cancer treatment, to post-stroke care. You won't believe what's right in your backyard. It's Coosa Valley Medical Center in Sylacauga. So, if you're sick in Alabama, choose one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama. That is Coosa Valley Medical Center.
Marble City Pharmacy in Sylacauga is your destination for the highest quality health care. Our knowledgeable pharmacists are always available for questions about your medications or advice on taking over-the-counter products and supplements. Our friendly staff can assist you in choosing from our full lines of compression hose and medical equipment. And don't forget our gift department. We have a great selection of unique gifts for every occasion. Stop by and see us today. Marble City Pharmacy, here for life.
Welcome back to Library Connection. I'm Mandy Cantrell from the B.B. Comer Memorial Library. I'm talking with Lieutenant Renae Cummings. I knew I would do that. I said it wrong. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. Lieutenant Renae Cummings with the Sylacauga Police Department. And she's been there several years and has seen a lot of things go on. And this was prompted by our neighborhood, the neighborhood where I live, starting a neighborhood watch group.
Yes.
I know we were talking about how to do that, and it's not something that the police do for you.
Correct.
We do, as a neighborhood, you start the watch, and then you came in and kind of helped us with our first meeting with
Right.
statistics.
I give you statistics, and I kind of guide you in the
Yes.
correct path. So that way you know what information we're looking
Yes.
for, and I let you know what's going on in your area so you're educated to what's going on, because most of the time when people start these neighborhood watches, they have no
We don't
clue what's
know.
been going on.
No, we don't. So it was very helpful for us, and I appreciate it. It was nice for us to get together as a neighborhood to get to know each other, and you answered a lot of questions, a lot of good questions we had. Well, we talked a little bit about home security, about the ring system. What are some other things that we can do just to keep our own home safe?
There's a few things that you could do. One of the main things that people make the mistake of is they'll buy large ticket items and then leave their boxes out by the curb.
Oh, no.
We have cardboard recycling that is right there at the fire department, is right next to the railroad tracks. So if you have large ticket items such as TVs, things like that, computers, make sure you take those boxes down to the fire station and get them recycled. Don't leave them out next to the road, because all you're doing is advertising that you've purchased these items.
Hey, I have a big new TV or
Yes.
something like that. Oh, that's and that's so simple.
Yes.
If it won't fold up and go in your recycling bin, take it down by
Correct.
the police station. That's
Correct.
great. So there's a way to do that. What else can we do?
The large ticket items, going back to it, most of them have make, model, serial number, all that
Okay.
information on the box. These items, most people have no idea what make television they have.
That's
or
true.
what laptop they had, especially if it's one that they have gotten from the school. Now the school has that on record, but in the meantime, it makes it a lot faster for us to get the information entered to the national database. Without the make, model, and serial number, we cannot enter these items that are taken from you and put it in our national database.
That
It would
makes
be hard
perfect
for you to
sense.
identify that item. You can tell us all day long, hey, that's my TV. I know I dropped the TV and it's got a scratch on that side. But without the serial number, we can't verify that that item's yours.
Right.
So we need those serial numbers. That also goes for your weapons. Like if you leave a weapon in your car, which we don't recommend, especially if you leave it unlocked, always secure your vehicle.
Oh, yes.
All your weapons in your home, get the make, model, and serial numbers. Put these items in a fireproof safe or turn them into your insurance agency so they have it on file.
Okay,
That makes it
yes.
a whole lot faster for us to get these items entered into the national database.
Okay, so if anything goes missing, you put those numbers into that database, and they show up. Other police departments or
Yes.
people you can search
Yes.
that. Well, that's amazing, because your stuff could end up in California, I guess. Yeah.
It could end up in Georgia, it could end up in Florida,
Yeah.
but if those serial numbers are entered in the national database, or if they're on a traffic stop and they come across these items and go,
yes.
well, this stuff appears that it's stolen, let's check the serial number. Well,
Right.
you had the serial number, you were able to sign the paperwork that was required by the police department. We got it entered right then, so within a couple of hours, this person's on a traffic stop, now we have recovered your items.
Oh, wow, that's amazing, because all people want their stuff back.
Yes, yes, they do.
And it all looks alike.
It
so
does.
it's hard to identify. That's a great idea. And just as simple as writing everything down.
Yes.
Yeah, and putting it somewhere safe.
Yes,
or with
ma'am.
your insurance company. That was a good idea. Well, you talked about guns in cars and cars unlocked and things like that. I know sometimes people are breaking into cars right in your
Yes.
carport. What do we do there?
Do not leave any items of value in plain view. By
Okay.
plain view, I mean, can they look in the window and see it?
Right.
There's
Yes.
many people that have, cups full of change. Or they may have their purse sitting there, or a bag that appears to have a laptop, and it may have a laptop in it.
Yes.
Always secure these items in an unseen location, or
Okay.
take them inside. Always secure your vehicle, because they're going to get the ones that's unsecured. They're going to go around and
Sure.
they're going to pull the handles. And if they can't get in, it's going to take them a little extra time to bust a window out. Some will, some won't. They'll move along to the next vehicle. But if it's in the trunk, out of sight, out of mind.
Oh, that's true. And that's just a habit.
Yes.
I know when I went to college, lived in an apartment, I got in the habit of locking my car.
Yes.
Well, that was a long time ago, but I still do it.
Yes.
Just got into the habit. Living in a college town, lots of college kids, I didn't want my car stolen, so
Yes.
I kept it locked. So, but that's just a habit to get into.
Yes, because some of the criminals, they will actually be a family member of someone that lives in your neighborhood.
Oh.
So they'll take it upon themselves to, walk. This is so-and-so's son, so he's good. And now you've seen him on camera, and he's going from vehicle to vehicle,
Yes.
just
And
seeing
even,
what's there.
Even a cup of change.
Yes,
That'll add up. All
Yes,
the
it will.
quarters, nickels, and dimes.
especially if they saw it and had to bust out your window.
Oh, gosh, yes, that would be terrible. Okay, so that's pretty simple.
Right.
Lock your car, don't put big ticket item boxes out, write down the serial numbers.
Yes.
What about around your home? I've heard things like, keep your shrubbery trimmed so people can't hide behind it. Anything else that we could do like that?
Security lighting. There are different security cameras along with the motion sensors that are actually solar powered, so it's easy to install.
Oh, yeah,
They're a
that'd be
little more pricey, but you've got the camera and the lighting all in one. So if you've got a dark area in your home and you don't want to go through the utility board and have a security lighting there, because some of them, they use LED lighting, they're fairly bright.
Sure,
so that's something for you to take into consideration.
Right.
Some of the motion sensored lights are only going to come off and on if you have movement.
Okay.
So you can add those into your dark locations. Always make sure your home is secured. A lot of people, believe it or not, won't lock their doors.
Yeah, we should. Everybody has to.
Many people don't even lock their doors when they're at home. And I suggest that they actually lock their doors even when they're in their home.
Right.
It's not saying that you're insecure in your home or you feel that you're unsecured.
Yes.
It's just taking extra precautions.
That's great. Yeah.
Extra precautions. Because
Helps
if
you
you
feel
create a
safer.
habit of it, you're always going to do
That's
it.
true. That's true.
Always going to do it.
That's great. Well, gosh, I have learned so much during our visit. Thank you for coming. And again, if anyone wants to form a neighborhood watch,
Yes.
it's the community forms it. Get together
Yes.
with your neighbors. Go door to door with notes, social media, all of that, phone calls, things like that. Get together with your neighbors. Form a neighborhood watch meeting. We met at the rec department.
Yes.
So it doesn't have to be at your home. Get Renae or someone to come and kind of help you get started, give you some information to get started. But thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Great, and thank you so much for what you and the rest of the department does for our
Thank you.
city. We appreciate it, and thank you for joining us on Library Connection.